The Remnants of a Past Life. Produced by Black Bottom James at BKK. As we pass through this life, maybe casually glancing without really thinking deeply regarding exactly where we are and where we have been, we are easily lost into our present location and our arrival at this point in time. Yet, upon giving it some thoughts and time into a review, a realization should develop and display some definition exposed in a consuming light, our arrival to this point, but more importantly, the significance of this location in its defining point in illuminating a path of explanation of delineating, characterizing why we are here. Was this predestination, not by choice but by design, or was this by coincidental attraction or just by chance, without any reasoning, consequences, or implications? There is an overall predestination, but only an achievement of an objective, as humans are imperfect. Following a specifically designed plan is unattainable, due to the number of unknowns in whatever path is chosen. The volume of decisions on a weekly or daily basis is too great, having numerous options for all and being correct, without error, on every assessment, evaluation, or resolution is highly improbable. Errors will occur, the significance of which has the potential to redetermine your path. It does not take a major conclusion of change to be impactful, therefore, increasing the probability greatly raises the possibility of an impactful results. Going through life for the sake of nothing being sustaining, insufficient, or depleting would be foolish and inconsequential. Life is much too valuable. It is an asset, not an irrelevant or petty encounter. It is the greatest opportunity that can be given or offered. Having a life exclusive of an objective or intention is incomprehensible. There is a reason for being. There is a purpose for existence, with all things having consequences, value, and importance, with every action having an effect. Therefore, this life was chosen, specifically, for each person on this planet. Even if that life only lasted minutes, there was implication and importance. So, for those having lived a complete life, having many years, there are so many ways in redacting the days, months, and decades of all the people, places in this life affecting the overall substance of the entire experience. But it is understandable why sometimes people are lost, misplaced, and a little disoriented, caused by the consequence in these bizarre experience in circumstances of this journey. It is not hard to conceive a person becoming so emasculated, due to occurrences, this journey becomes overwhelming, crushing, and engulfing, to the extent all dreams have disappeared and replaced with devastating results, from a previous engagement with all the horrific entanglements of a traumatic nightmare. In attempting to recover, there are no guidelines, directions, or parameters, only another setback, leading to another blank slate trying to recover and re-establish. At some place, there has been reached an arrival point, a point of demarcation, essentially, proclaiming a review, reminiscence, an evaluation of the occurrences and experiences manifesting and defining your present location. Every life has a path unique for each individual, based upon the decisions and incidents having occurred through their existence. The journey is yours, never duplicated by another. Each having possibly the same mission, but we are individual creatures of different habits, likes and dislikes, with some being responsible and some incorporating those responsibilities, but at different times in this journey. These individual differences, compiled with individual major and minor decisions, is what makes this journey uniquely distinctive and diverse. This is a journey of purpose and needs to be defined and clarified. Sometimes the decisions we make are not initially clear and may not be totally explainable until much later. This journey seems to come in phases, stages, or periods, possible residing in different locations or dwellings, or maybe the same place, but there are changes in the household, children mature to adults, divorce, employment, or from single to married, but the greatest is change as we age, mature and advance in every phase of this life, arrive at new ways of thinking, organizing, and reasoning. Sometimes something occurs that changes your entire existence, no longer seeing life the same. For many, as in my experience, it was a difference in location providing the most prominent transformation. The location variations were all employment related, with many being a totally transforming environment in a new country or region of the planet. There were major adjustments to modify, for example moving from a Christian country to an Islamic country. Moreover, there is much more to be discovered, transformed and disclosed, but it requires a deep self-review and knowing what is being shown and what is being hidden for your disclosure. This constant movement will suggest or advocate or imply some action not being very obvious, whereas it might require many years of focus in revealing adequate information seeking answers. Therefore, don't expect a revelation of information to be revealed in a glance. In order to gain the necessary information you seek, there must be an examination of the entire experience on what was gained and acquired just by your presence in this environment. Using factors of the people you engaged and the effect or something you gained by your discussions with them. Was there someone that really caught your attention with the start of a personal relationship, expected or unexpected, but was there something garnered in that relationship providing an unexpected experience of emotional changes? Australia was an unexpected experience with the peoples of that land. It reminded me of life in the 70s in the USA, focused on the racial divide in the US, but in Australia, it was the racial intolerance between the native Aboriginals and the white Australian. There was exceedingly discrimination administered by the white Australian community delivered upon the black Aboriginals, who are now a minority in their own country. This was disturbing from an envisioned Australia to an inveterate, ugly transformational shift from I discovered in the forward, intransigence Australian society. The resulting experience will possibly have a resounding change in the anticipated journey in the desire to expand, grow and develop an even deeper desire in this progression, searching for improvement, never meeting perfection but trying with ultimate determination move beyond an existing point in understanding your limitations but attempting to go beyond expectation in the conquest in this journey. No one knows the extent of his abilities until tested by using the knowledge gained from all experiences. This expansion in moving from to new locations extend the horizon with the knowledge gained by a further progression into the unknowns, capturing all available information. With every new location, an optional road of is presented availability coming into your presence. However, new roads remerge requiring decisions or choices, especially in always people. There must be interaction with discussion in developing relationships, which may or may not come to fruition, but having friends are definitely an asset, regardless of your location in this journey. Primarily, there must be self-identification detailing desires, career progression and finding of that special person, if needed. One must have determined, specifically, the exact location of your needs and the position planned for this moment in time. If these goals and aspirations are perfectly in order, things are much easier with few adjustments, but if not, there needs to be made adjustments and examination to see if this location will provide the opportunities available and required for keeping on track or within the required parameters of established objectives. In my quest for improvement, the place needed for advancement was always a step ahead of my location, and I needed to find a way in ascertaining avenues in moving at a quicker pace, making the jump in where my group had gathered. When there is a feeling of being behind, priority is to have a plan of placement to move forward quickly in being with my peers. In this periods of adjustment, there is continuous alteration and a perspective on different subjects areas, trying to move in the right direction of issues of frequent thought, adding more information and revealing needed data for a prescribed position of truth. It can be a prolonged search before making a conclusive decision. Aging is great in being a depository of time containing decades of data consumed in a reality of incidents, experiences and conditions defining and expanding your identity, but not being able to comprehend expanding a greater picture exposing the reason, rationale and purpose of these occurrences over these years of activities before finally revealing the truth in a comprehensive expression of clarification and elucidation. These are the derivatives explaining the unknowns and the whys. It is at this point in time, the reason being in this specific place can be explained and understood, whereas, previously, you are here but not knowing why, a hole in your past is now filled with knowledge, rather than questions. An objective of this journey is finding a safely ensconced environment of exclusion enabling focus and concentration for reflection. It is an anticipated journey, but sometimes displaced in a painful desultory of uncomfortable circumstances and conditions, not knowing if this is definitely the correct decision in shifting in this region, yet, later discovering the initial fears were based upon erroneous information or incorrect data, delineating all presumptions were invalid, whereas conditions were so favorable and conducive to constructive and affirmative activities declaring this decision to be productive and enduring. Unfortunately, troubles are a hidden ambush laden with grief and sadness. This is a trek only moving forward, never going back to the past. What was before is gone, what is now is only tolerable. Happiness is only an illusion from the past, proceeding with an unknown path shuttered in mystery, uncertainty, and anonymity. The future is that empty and barren destination full of promise awaiting your arrival. It was finalized and completed by your past actions. Upon arrival, it is only confirming the present. Once you have arrived to a point of rest or partial completion, a consummation, assessment, or evaluation should be taken of your exploits over your present career in examination of what has been accomplished and to possibly examine the changes in location, an in-depth review or analysis of why this change was made but what variations were the results of each specific change in location or itinerary. These amendments may be difficult to ascertain, even more difficult are the conclusive modification. Nevertheless, if these difficult actions can be resolved, discovered and defined, the most lingering questions can be answered in this journey can be answered, revealing an entire scenario of events chained together, unlocking mysteries and keys to decades of unanswered concern. This is a quest each of us should attempt, review and summarize, discovering so many new things regarding this person you have known as you. Again, it may not be an easy challenge but so rewarding. Whereas, sometimes there is fear and trepidation when initiating a new path, as it has unknowns, but not always unknowns are a representative of hazards, risk or vulnerabilities. It can be defined as an adventure, a journey of high expectation, an opportunity, a chance of discover and experiencing and encountering something new. However, to view this, there needs to be an open mind of acceptance, desiring to uncover an alternate way, seeking an understanding of a different culture. When using these expressions of expectation, the results will always be constructive, favorable, and valuable. In order to broaden your horizons, there needs to be an expansion of experience. Staying in the same place, seeing the same people, doing the same things continuously, will only depict a narrow perspective of any journey. One needs to leave the comforts of familiarity with pursuit of an unknown interest commencing, but if actions are autogenous, the journey will be easily permeated with pleasurable. Some of the things allowing this reminiscent of the past will be items, statements, people and culture of your trek, instilling a memory not forgotten, or things of influence from a day influencing your thinking of the moment, but remain. Others are just the people of your experience affecting your memories of a certain period, or maybe caused a change in your perspective of that place. All of the visits instilled new pondering, rational or philosophy, may be fortifying and stimulating your belief or cause, providing more momentum, substance, and intensity of a clearer presentation of the knowledge needed in sustaining and substantiating all the knowns of this journey. This examination also includes specific places of your journey, looking for a connection, correlation, or a thread of consequence engaging your journey with those places having implication or meaning in your life. Nothing is by chance, all has meaning and magnitude in your chosen path. Since nothing is by chance and having a reason for this being, not just for the financial reasons, having many locations paying these salaries, but why this particular country? What were the other reasons for placement here? What experiences and was I to garner with placement in the correct position of this journey? There is purpose in all we do and accomplished, so the goal is to understand the reason for occupying time in this specific place. What are we supposed to learn? How should it navigate the next obstacle for you to overcome? For me, this question required numerous answers, as I live in different countries and places in the U.S. Being in Vermont was a place on my bucket list to visit. It was a desirable place I wanted to see and possibly live. After living there for 2.5 years, it did not meet my expectations in many scenarios, therefore, it was placed on my nice to visit list with possible being a summer home, but never would it be considered home. Other places on my journey unexpectedly, with surprise, became the place of almost ultimate enjoyment and pleasure, which was Japan. It exceeded all expectation, but it was the place with the shortest tenure. The people and environment were exceptional, causing leaving to be extremely hard. It is there for your disclosure, all for an uncovering, defining the events, unveiling all the unknowns left to exposed. Moments arise in the journey which are clear, exposed, only translucent and troubled, unable to understand your present location and your destination and the correct route to use. Life becomes hidden, a realm of perplexity, turmoil, and uncertainty, but knowing the journey must continue, as there is a universal code. If there is no continuous movement, there is death knocking at your door. On many occasions, the vision of a pathway is presented before you, outlining a bright, well-lit straight path for your ambition, motivation, and desires. It stretches as far as the eye can see and the brain can imagine, allowing full vision of its forward progression. As each of us passes through interludes of adaptation, not having a clear and precise barometer of our heading and focus, using all available tools, engaging our present location, leading to a pathway of understanding and success, capitalizing on available opportunities, while examination of the present culture in search of access points, seeking knowledge. The path of this journey is in your control, but then, it is not. There are only a few things in your control, the rest are decided by someone else, while there are inputs submitted by you, including significant factors in the decision. However, this journey is yours, being the designer, engineer, and manufacturer of the majority of the components composed and ultimate decision maker of this journey. Some things may happen beyond your control, but primarily the journey is yours. Along this journey, your views and perspective regarding issues might change as you are changing, growing older, evolving as you go along the way, being influenced by your environment or the changes contrasting in you. You are not quite the same person as earlier in your years, except the basic and primary functions remain unchanged, but certain issues have evolved over time. In the end summary, successes, blame or guilt will be the results of all executed actions in this journey. Upon submitting your resume to employers, they make a selection, not you. On this journey, many times we know the location of trouble. In the U.S., we know in the summer, there are frequent tornadoes in Tornado Alley, located in Kansas and Oklahoma, thereby relocating in this area. Everyone knows the risk of tornadoes in the summer is increased. So, Sometimes we make decisions placing using a possible hazardous conditions, subsequently having problems, but problems will arise even upon our best decisions trying to eliminate as few problems as possible. Possibly, some decisions are designed not to be positive. My thinking Vermont would be great and it was beautiful, however, living there was not as I projected. People were nice, but not as nice as expected. On the other hand, I thought I would totally dislike Japan and did all I could not to go, but it turned out being total enjoyment and pleasure, so happy I decided to take the employment offer. Unfortunately, it was so short of an experience and I hated to leave. This journey is not always so clear and definable, as the journey itself has led you in believing. On occasions, the journey presents itself as idyllic but only in review. A false narrative is presented painting a different picture from the life being lived. Some pathways are not blissful, pleasurable and idyllic, providing days of sunshine and delight, but an unexpected revelation revealing a presence of discontentment and plights of uninterrupted dilemmas plaguing your stay in its agony and grief. However, the most important part of this journey is knowing there is a leader needed to guide and provide instructions along these paths. That leader is Jesus. He is the key instrument, as he knows all. He knows the steps of your life and all other in your path along this journey. He is not there only for the next life, but most importantly, required in this journey, if there is a desire to win and gain the most pleasure from every moment of our existence. Even some Christians only seek his assistance on the road to heaven, but why would anyone minimalize the Creator? He is the owner of this planet. He created man for this planet, thereby knowing both intimately in detail in all we want and require for our stay on the planet Earth. Open your heart and Jesus is there waiting to give you all you need, which is his love, which is all you need. Life has meaning in everything we are involved, do and accomplish, which means there is nothing unplanned, all is known and planned, the people we meet are deliberate and intentional, there are no surprises or unknowns. Even when our paths are supposedly interrupted and changed, it is all within the larger scope of the intended purpose of this journey. It is not a scripted, pre-planned endeavor, but, with each change, a new script is prepared, keeping you on a new path with the same objectives. Therefore, every stop on the way, all the places you lay your head is on a pathway of activating changes for improvement, enrichment, and advancement. There are some events or actions waiting to grasp your attention, advancing engagement your heart cannot respond to its pleasures. However, there are some amongst us that will proceed directly without deviation, encompassing their intended goals, meeting their targeted objectives, devoid of an alternative route, proceeding exclusively. These individuals are strong, listening and focusing their attention of all instructions from the Creator, advancing to their goals with minimum deviations. One of the greatest things in this relationship with Jesus is knowing there is purpose in your life, which is of great significance when things have gone astray in this journey and this life has hidden itself from providing an exact location in this journey of what is next. Knowing there is a purpose keeps things going, in balance. In knowing, with purpose, there is completion, and if the purpose is not complete, then the task is not finished and there will be time to complete those tasks related to the purpose. However, when the arrival is at the point where there is not a specific direction of travel, that direction must be provided in knowing the correct path. But waiting for the direction is not an easy task. The demarcating is time, too much time. During these times, the realization is shown, you don't know jack. The direction of travel is beyond your competence and being lost seems to be near, but Jesus will never allow total loss of direction. However, waiting is not fun, all it does is let you know, what you thought you knew was an illusion, you don't know jack. Jesus has his own time frame for allowing things to happen. He has your schedule, and your schedule and his schedule is sometimes misaligned, with your time being totally interoperable. Jesus is never wrong, always on time. So, your scheduled timetable must be adjusted, but the exact schedule is still unknown to you, so the only alternative or option is to wait until Jesus' scheduled time and date is made available to you. There are no other applicable alternative or option if the desire is to be on time on this journey. The journey is here, always providing an opportunity for another trek in meeting your primary destination in completion of this journey. Every path taken along this journey are categorized with a component of hazards increasing the probability of danger or jeopardy. These are individual choices or selection in choosing their direction of travel. Many people have an aversion for risk, not willing to place their accomplishment in jeopardy, if avoidable, but not realizing the rewards of risk or chance. There is risk in all we do, with some being greater on a road less traveled. Those of us choosing a safer course of action, never allowing the escape needed in ascertaining the golden ring, instead choosing a simplified path of limited challenges, never fully engaging the unknown, never experiencing more than they can observe. Many times, in order to exceed beyond your parameters, risk might be an inclusion of the journey. It will also be a testimony in going beyond known barriers and reaching your dreams. However, the dreams of many does not include perpetual advancement of the ultimate goals attempted in meeting all the expectations in receiving all things possible presented in this life. We are chosen for different goals with a different purpose, with our selections and choices being indicative of who we are, who we were meant to be, having some with greater assignments and objectives, but all with selected in meeting the assigned responsibilities. These ambitions and goals were forged at a young age, as it molded and shaped each of us in that pursuit or goal we strive to obtain. No one is responsible for another's goal and purpose. Your purpose is designed specifically for your character, attitude, all formed and fashioned being the best application for this person named you and only you. For each purpose, there is a designated person created in fulfilling, enhancing, and attaining that reason for being. All you need to do is give it your all, the best that is available, and your purpose is attained. The premise of the scientific community has been to prove the non-existence of any God, being the creator of the universe. Therefore, their theories, hypotheses, and conjectures do not coincide with the written word of the Bible. The scientific community must initiate a beginning from their discoveries regarding the existence of all life forms. Their premise being, all things must be proven using a scientific model, using mathematical equations, formulas, and expressions in framing a model displaying a methodology of projections and principles supporting their logic of thought and reasoning. Of course, the conclusion they reached did not support an existence of a Lord, God Almighty, only man theories such as the Big Bang and steady-state notions of the origins of this universe. So many resources has been wasted attempted to disprove the truth. To be clear, there is a mathematical formula written in providing the scientific evidence of an existing God, detailing all regarding the creation of man in the universe. Unfortunately, the intellectual knowledge required to understand the formula is beyond the comprehension of man at this point in time. Later, for some, the specifics will be provided, having a response of, "It is child's play." We all know the great disparity between the rich and the poor in this journey. While this rift is mostly based upon ethnicity, it must be viewed why God allowed such a large gap of financial prosperity and opportunities in the separation of societies, knowing financial optimization would lead to other constituents of differences existing between these groups, with one thinking all things regarding their physical attributes are exceedingly greater than those with substantial less financial standing, causing racial intolerances, implicit bias, oppression, systemic racism, systematic, structural, institutional, and others fracturing, suppressing and limiting our society, causing a chasm of detrimental issues to promulgate and thrive, leaving an entire ethnicity entrenched in poverty, limited opportunities, and economic demise without the freedom of this land, as expressed under the U.S. Constitution, expression and supporting the general welfare thereof. This era of mankind is soon ending without many having the opportunity of enjoying the fruits this country. However, all is not lost, maybe what we sought in this life, but this is not the complete end of the journey. Most didn't achieve nothing near our potential. This life is choreographed to a fine-tuning expressing your delight, frustrating and pain in a manner of not designating a specific control over your journey, designating certain things must happen in a prescribed time. However, you are the controller, manager, and regulator, denoting all that will happen in every prescribed moment, detailing which way you will go with every happenstance, mapping out a life of what you have made it. There is not programmed tune in this journey, dedicating every turn that is made with every decision already programmed the direction to be taken. It is a choice or decision to be completed individually and delivering a quest, all reaching a certain outcome for completion. This journey is a musical sonata, symphony, or concerto finely tuned, creating a journey of song describing this life as you have made it. It is composed of crescendos and climaxes soaring through the roof, unable to be contained, followed by a season of lull, depression, sinking to a period of grief and misery, only to be uplifted in a swell of activity, in a calmness of tranquility, of peace, of melodic mode, ensuing pleasure and relaxation. This journey is your life, transcending through time and space, exploring all corners of creation with unexpected results. Ups and downs defines the journey through life. Going through the different phases, stages, and chapters can be composed and directed as a symphony of tragedy, comedy of tunes, or a play of drama, as it is developed and presented on the stage of the world for all to see. Can your performance be described as one in control of his destiny, or you a ball of confusion being transformed and abused, traveling from one performance to another, always trying to gain control of each setting on the stage of life, but never, as your life is bounced from one location to another, never asserting authority or dominance, always being manipulated, remaining a character in your own life, playing the role of the oppressed, distressed, and the exploited. Our lives are a symphony portrayed in song, identified with the rhythm of the music as it is being orchestrated and performed on the stage of life, with us being the main character, not knowing what confrontation, disaster, or catastrophe will happen, swaying with the music, trying to resolve all events in this episode, leading to a celebration of life or management of defeat, but awakening, facing another day of promise. It is up to us in using all available resources in establishment of an atonement of sharing and division of the necessities of this journey, reflecting of an autonomous relationship. The journey is measured by the implacable drive and determination instigated in the diaspora of people and culture in understand their role, and the inclusiveness of empathetic assessment in the value and compassion relating to the continuing search for answers in your life. Thank you for remaining until the end of The Remnants of a Past Life. If feeling this was educational, providing for informative learning, please share with friends and at least one enemy, and subscribe to the channel by pressing the like button. Please remain standing until the national anthem is played in your hearts. Shalom. Credits. I would like to thank the following participants for use of their video, which without would be an impossible task: Imbraham Bennett, Dimitri Devadvo, Matthijs Groneveld, Frederick N., Itai Perilman, Day Kierdrine, Dan Christian, Disil, Cotton Bro 2, Benjamin Sprinkle 2, Emerkenball, Eric Shelby, Diva Plavalagina, Be the Observer, Tobin, Ali Kareem, Anthony Trivet, MD Amir Umar, Cotton Bro Studios, Ambient Nature Atmosphere, 10, Jean Vertchen, AKS Walls, Collis, Assad Photo, Azran Rashid, FL. Studio Magellan, Elena Darmal, Alexander Bobrov, Joseph Yulo, Julian M. Cameron, Adrian Jacta. 6. Luis Quintero, Dario Fernando Ruz, I. M. Soren, and Merklin Ball, Frederick M. Engen Accurate.